Hello, my name is Jon Sermon. I'm a church minister based in the UK and with strong links with Africa, in particular Uganda. And throughout this pandemic situation from COVID-19, I've been recording these short messages in the hope of encouraging people. Today, I'm thinking about, on the one hand, all the difficulties we're still facing, and on the other hand, the fact that God is able to bring us through it. Now, faith in God is not so much a matter of hoping for the best, or even taking an attitude of, I'll trust God when things go well for me, but recognizing God's supremacy, God's sovereignty over us, and trusting Him in the good and the bad alike. And yes, of course, we know we've been through an awful lot of bad, and the world situation in so many ways, like in Myanmar, for example, is still terribly precarious. And even here in the UK, where we're making good progress with the rollout of vaccines, COVID is still having an enormous effect on our lives and will for some time to come. And it's only natural in our human nature that if we have any concept of believing in God at all, we still ask ourselves, well, where's God in all this? Why has it gone so badly wrong? How can God be loving towards us? Now, the thing is, that is unfortunately too shallow an understanding of what relationship with God is about. We don't treat God like a sugar daddy giving us what we want. At least we shouldn't. And there's a couple of examples I want to draw to your attention in the Old Testament part of the Bible that help us understand this. The book of Job is a really difficult read. Job was an individual who honoured God, but his life circumstances went wrong and worse and even worse. So that at times he was making comments like, I can't do anything but sigh and groan, and my life is oppressive to me, and there is no hope. But as he thought things through, he came to the position of saying that even if God would kill me, still I choose to trust him. Perhaps more stark is the one from the book of Daniel, three young men who were themselves prisoners in the sense that they were taken in captivity to another nation and effectively in slave labour serving the king called Nebuchadnezzar. His name is known even beyond the Bible. And Nebuchadnezzar, on one occasion, his pride led him to set up a huge golden statue. It's probably around 30 meters tall, and declare that the whole nation must worship it in a choreographed, triggering it with music. Everybody bows down to this statue, and if you don't, you're thrown into a fiery furnace and burnt to death. Well, these three, called Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, and you'll find them in the book of Daniel, chapter 3, they would not bow down to this statue. Now, most of the people obviously thought, well, I'm not really praying to this statue. I'll just pretend to preserve my own skin. And that's an understandable reaction, isn't it? But these three, out of principle, knowing that they serve the one true God, would not submit to the pride of the king and pretend that this statue is God. And so here's what happened. I'll just read you a tiny extract. Furious with rage, Nebuchadnezzar summoned Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So these men were brought before the king, and Nebuchadnezzar said to them, Is it true, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that you do not serve my gods or worship the image of gold that I have set up? Now when you hear the sound of the music, if you are ready to fall down and worship the image I made, very good. But if not, you will immediately be thrown into the blazing furnace. Then what God will be able to rescue you from my hand? Now they weren't disrespectful to the king, but their reply is this. They replied to the king, King Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to defend ourselves before you in this matter. If we are thrown into the blazing furnace, the God we serve is able to deliver us from it, and he will deliver us from your majesty's hand. But even if he does not, we want you to know, your majesty, that we will not serve your gods or worship the image of gold you have set up. It was such a point of principle of honouring the one true God. And you see the difference between the attitude we're so easily tempted into, I'll serve God as long as things go well. And they say, but even if he does not rescue us, know this, they serve the true God and will continue to do so, whatever the powerful King Nebuchadnezzar says to them. In these difficult times, I would urge us all to reflect on it and maybe come to prayer. And if our attitude, if we are able to have an attitude of saying, Lord God, I will serve you whatever, it can be such a help to us. God bless you.